My friend Tom gave me a ring and asked me to come by. He's always got something new in his ever-evolving stash.
What's up, Ian?
Howdy, howdy. Just here to check out your treasure trove.
Oh, wow. Yeah, man, your truck's looking good.
Last time I saw this thing, it was just a heap of parts. It's come a long way.
I tore it completely apart, powder coated everything, and just cleaned it up, but it's still all the old parts. It's a 42 Chevy from World War II.
But this isn't 42. This
54 235,
Heck
first
yeah.
year 235. That's a,
You run that in the lowrider 54
yeah,
Chevy.
yeah.
Right
That's
on.
what that came out of, was a 54 Chevy car.
Perfect.
I'm a sucker for any truck project, but walking in right away, I could tell Tom's going in a different direction with this one.
When I look at it now, it looks so darn stubby.
But it was a long bed. I shortened it 20 inches.
It's got like T-bucket proportions.
Yeah, I
now.
went online and I saw Ian Roussel cutting a chassis, and I thought, I got to cut a chassis now.
I learned a little something from that guy too.
It's pretty cool to inspire people to make a bold choice in their project. Just take 20 inches out of the length of the wheelbase, pretty substantial.
Oh, I see. You cut it right here. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. That's what I would have done. Oh, yeah, and then you just box
Yeah.
it in a little bit. And you have a bed that's going to go on?
Yeah, that's the reason why I shortened it 20 inches, because when I shortened the bed, it looked best at 20 inches shorter. Squared it and tacked it, squared it.
You probably did a better job than I do.
I doubt that.
Knowing Tom and what he's into, I can see a pretty clear path to kind of remedy the situation, improve on some, and just find exactly what he's looking for in the end. Honest Ian's one-stop chop top in session.
I got
Yeah.
a couple ideas regarding that.
Now you got me excited. I can't wait to see this thing done.
All right, man. Well, while you're all enthusiastic, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, I say we just get into this.
Whatever you want to do, Ian.
Oh, famous last words. Ian, do whatever you want. I mean, we both know I've got some pretty wild ideas from time to time.
I think we just cut the top right off and just discuss.
Oh, that sounds good.
I don't even know where it'll end up. We'll just kind of take it one piece at a time, as they say.
Okay.
You wouldn't mind pulling that welder over here.
It's about to get real, huh?
Oh, it's about to get real. It's like your wedding day, right? It's all fun and games until you're walking down that aisle.
Until Ian gets going.
This is the last time you'll see your truck in one piece, ever. I mean, for the next couple days.
This is a story I'm very familiar with. You know, it's as old as time. 1 minute, Tom and I are talking, laughing, discussing. The next minute, I'm cutting his truck in half. Could be a little unnerving. I'm used to it, but first-time client, not so much.
Yeah, so something sort of like that, maybe?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I like that. I do. I think that window opening looks better than the original window opening.
And you could see,
It does.
I cut it more than 2 inches.
What's that? You did cut it more than 2 inches?
That's more than 2-inch chop.
Okay.
I couldn't help it. Never trust a
That's
man
cool.
with a grinder in his
Yeah,
hand.
with the cutting wheel, yeah.
Cool, let's chop the other side off.
All jokes aside, you know, when I was looking at it, to my eye, it's all about the proportions. So I'm an overachiever. I cut it a little bit more than 2 inches.
I think we're both in agreement. This back window should stay the same size.
Yeah.
So we'll cut below. We'll do the chop through here in the back wall.
When you start cutting something apart, especially it's got different shapes to it and different curves, you're in trouble. Unless you know what you're doing, you're in trouble.
You're making your own puzzle. That's the thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Right now, it's just the picture. Right now, we're going to puzzle it and then figure out how to make it lock back down. In the back, I'm going to show you a pretty cool idea for this window. If we were to draw this, say, on graph paper, right? If you took a straight back view of this, you'd have this checkerboard, right? So the most horizontal line, I think, would be this window. The idea being, when that comes straight down, you don't have any zigzag in the connection, so when you weld it, you're not trying to fill gaps. So those are just 2 reference points of being parallel. So now we're hitting on that trim, and we're 3 1/4, 5 1/4. And then this is the 2-inch chop through this area.
Well, I got you now. I'm nervous but excited at the same time. I think you know what that means. I'm all on board
I
here.
remember my first date, don't worry.
Okay. I fell out of the back of a truck on my first date.
We'll just keep it at a strict 2 inches all the way around. We'll set the roof down, and then we can make adjustments from there.
Just the attitude of this cab in general, it's already got kind of that, you know, forehead down appearance. So no rake in the chop, just straight down all the way around. True story, I learned this whole thing by watching Gene Winfield. That blue Packard is a perfect example of this, you know, pretty bold, huge amount of work. I mean, it is a puzzle in the end because it's taken apart, shapes change, and you gotta put it back so it looks like the perfect picture. It's a little bit of math, but it's also just a lot of envisioning, you know? You sit back and watch this dissected, exploded view of what it could be and how's it come back together.
Are we done, Ian?
Theoretically. I mean, this is actually the first time I've ever done this, so surprise, surprise. Now you got yourself a roadster.
We got the cut, now we got to do the paste. That's where the rubber hits the road on this puzzle piece chop top.
All right, man, I think it's that time. Let's put it on and see how far out of shape we got.
The way I laid it out makes it look really straightforward, but there's a million places to go wrong. That's the way I have learned through trial and error, a lot of error.
So let's just line up the back wall and see where we're at.
Looky there. From the side, right? That looks pretty groovy.
The proportions are perfect.
I mean, you can see now it's got attitude, right? 2 inches isn't a big chop at all, but it does something.
Man,
The first look is the most exciting part of the whole project. You get to see all the potential before you put in the blood, sweat, and tears before the rest of the project comes together.
I feel 100% better now.
Well, that's good news because the work hasn't even started. This thing has just been nipped. It's time to get into the actual surgery.
Uh-oh.
In talking with Tom, he made it very clear that he wants me to just focus on the chop while I'm here. This project has been his baby, long-term deal, and he wants to finish it up on his own. It allows me to really take my time, discuss with Tom, and teach him a bit on exactly what it takes to pull through this. This is where the issue of putting the puzzle back together starts. We're a solid inch smaller. The typical thing you'll see so much is they cut right through the center of the roof and split it. They widen the whole thing. But that means you have to pin in this 1-inch band across the whole span of the roof, right? And that gets complicated. That could get all warped out of shape. It gets real weird. So I have an idea that will help us with that.
Okay. Are you finding, is that how you're finding the high spot?
I guess sometimes my bare bones approach is a little surprising. This is gonna pop the roof into 2 pieces right now, front and back. Let's see how it falls apart.
What the heck?
I literally had no idea what just happened. I just thought it was like a piece of the brackets from inside the truck. You know, I'm walking away and Tom's like, those are dinner spoons in the roof.
Other military, I think. Look at that.
And then there's 42.
U.S. Marine Corps.
Oh, wow.
Archaeologist here now.
I've never put a utensil in the roof rail of my vehicle. Like what? Did they just like steal them from the mess hall? Like that midnight chocolate pudding adventure, it's on tonight. Clink. All right, now back to our regularly scheduled chop top. Ta-da. Let's just zip right into place.
Oh my God, everything lined right up, Ian.
Everything lines up like a puzzle. People look at it and it doesn't look like it's too tall. It looks right now.
Yeah. Or they're gonna go, what's different about that cab?
So my mom said the day I was born, something different about this. It's not every day when I have a spare, complete, identical vehicle at my disposal while I'm doing a project like this. You know, typically it's the exact opposite way around. They got half a vehicle and they need me to build an entire one out of that. Everything about this is clean, clean, clean. Just in looking at it, there's a few key pieces of this that make it worth chopping up as a parts truck.
I look behind you, there's the dune buggy wheels and tires.
Oh, this is part of the different look kit?
Yeah.
Heck yeah. The authentic beach buggy wheel.
That's what I remember as a kid. The guys ran just the white wall tires just blown up.
Before they had paddles
Yeah.
or anything,
Yeah.
right? Tom is a darn good parts sourcer. Like every time I show up at his place, it's like, where do you even get that? For me, that really short steps my operation because it's like they're doing the footwork and I get to select. It's kind of a shame we're cutting this all the way apart, but it's also kind of not a shame because we're ending up with a really clean
Yeah,
custom
yeah,
deal.
it'll make this one perfect. I love the chop. I can't believe how fast you got to this point, and it makes complete sense when you see how you do this.
This thing is red hot.
We got one on the grill and one ready for the frying pan. Prepare your appetites for some freshly prepared chop tops.
The B-pillars, I'm gonna leave a little loose because I want to address this right now. I don't like welding that close together if I can avoid it. But since I have this cab, I'm just gonna utilize this piece if it's the exact same stamping in here.
It's a bit of a different job having this donor truck available to us because it really simplifies the process. There's almost no fabrication. All the replacement pieces don't have to get made. They just get taken from that vehicle. Simplifies the amount of welding. Lucky for me, I'm used to living in a not so perfect world. Back in the 40s, I guess things weren't super specific. They're darn close, but they sure ain't the same stamping.
So you can see everything in the world is not exact. That drip rail is just a little bit different contour towards the bottom.
Either way, we have a few bridges to cross. These cars don't like to build themselves.
I'm gonna continue weld the roof skin, and then later I'll put a flat bar in there and I'll hammer that drip rail to exact specifications.
That's it, that's the structure. Gotta fill in this hole in the roof.
Tom didn't want no sunroof, and he ain't getting no stinking sunroof. Time to butcher the cab.
By butcher, I mean extraction, precision. It's like that game Operation, you know, with the tweezers. One wrong move, you're out.
You can tell by the slice in the roof, we're gonna need about 2 fingers more. So we're gonna make that roof cap 4 fingers more. Let's cut this off and see what we're working with.
With a piece of vintage Americana like this, we have to handle it in the most delicate way.
If it has any dome at all, we're gonna just try to remove a little bit of it. Just flatten it out just a wee bit.
Look at that.
Little crazy glue. We're ready to rock. Notice the gap here. As I trim this donor roof back towards this cut, I can get them to really get closer.
So they lap maybe only by 1/4 of an inch.
See here, we would have had to cut this strip straight through the entire roof, and this just spreads out the work, a lot cleaner end result. So that's pretty much it. Clamp it and slowly weld it back into place.
I gotta say, the dome on this roof is looking good. It's coming together. The next challenge is to get these door tops fitted up and welded on.
Slow and steady. Takes a long time to weld this sheet metal back together, so I don't want to overheat it. And if that gets upside down or warps, big trouble.
I'm happy with the way that this is progressing. You can see how it's developed with these 2 vertical cuts on each side of the rear window. The curvature of the roof needed to be shrunk in a little bit, and that's standard procedure on a cab like this to make a better contour.
This structure is fully in place. This roof cap adds a huge amount of torsional strength to the cab. I'll patch this in last, but I want to do this door top surround using a piece of this original door and a piece of the donor cab door. I did notice that these cabs are slightly different, but I'm hoping that these door frames are identical. I try to avoid stacking welds. If you're making a deck or doing roofing, you always stagger the seams, right? So you got seam, seam, and I'm gonna try to put one back here. I don't like that join up at all.
I'm looking at the fit up and man, that's a big difference. I mean, can these cabs really be that far off?
Oh, it's in the 2-inch piece. That's what it is. It's in the section of the chop. Let me find that thing.
Pretty good at holding on to used parts, but keeping them organized, that's a whole different story.
It's not that one. There's one here. Oh, brother. I've done it now. There it is, the missing link. I gotta put that back on and start above that. Oops.
The mark of a true professional is how you handle your mistakes, right? So thankfully, that thing was still in the room. As I was saying before that brief interruption, let me mark it, cut it, and see how it lines up. Trying to use this, but they're just not the same. Let me see what this one looks like. Sometimes it's hard to think with 30 million degrees of sun rays penetrating the shop. If you've never tried working in the Mojave Desert in the middle of July in a steel building, you ought to try it sometime.
What's up, Ian?
Whew, it's hot.
Wow.
It's getting there.
It's got a top on it.
Yes, sir.
Oh, wow, man, that's cool.
So yeah, what I'm doing is I'm hammering it with a dolly, welding some more, and working through it.
Yeah, I like it. That looks really good.
For me, it's all about that first impression. You know, how do you feel when you walk right up and take it in?
Man, I don't know how you did it, but I can hardly see the difference right here, right now. You fixed it.
Yeah, man. It was, I just welded the bottom, and then I used the clamp, and I just drew it up, so the heat kind of allowed it to stretch upwards.
Man.
I'm pretty sneaky, man.
The two trucks together right there. Look at that. Yeah.
Shuts like it's supposed to.
Man, I'm sorry that you know what, though? That's been the biggest monkey wrench so far, right?
Yeah, very minor, too.
Yeah,
Very
okay,
minor.
okay, I'm glad you said that. I don't know what difference between minor and major is on this stuff, because I've never done any of this, but.
Major problem is when I can't figure it out. All in all, I think it's a darn good fit up. In the end, the donor cab really did streamline this. All right, last part of the puzzle, the piece that I took out of the corners, I'm just gonna reuse that and then patch in the top right here.
You found everything in my shop, huh, Ian?
Kind of a snoop like that, man. You should see me at my friend Bill's house. I know where all his best projects are, man.
You know, you look so easy that everybody at home's going, hell, I can do that.
You can, man. It just
takes a screwdriver and a welder.
Yeah, and 30 years of messing it up. And then you start to get the hang of it. Well, that's the story, sir. I'm just gonna keep on welding, and pretty soon you'll have a truck again.
I'm excited, man. Look at that. That's just one of these here, you know.
It's really gonna take just welding to finish this cab up. I'm gonna pick at it for a couple of days, and I'm looking forward. Tom says we can get this thing in a mock-up pretty quick, but I wanna get back to my shop. I got another project that's been prepared that I wanna get into. Now we're off on a little two-wheeled adventure. This is gonna be fun. This is my friend Kai's chopper. It's a 1980 Harley shovel head, and this is kind of his baby. He passed a couple years ago, and his wife contacted me saying, hey, you know anything about this? I met Kai pretty early in my career, and he was always a huge supporter of my efforts. Kai was just a really intellectual, interesting kind of dude, and his fascination with Harley Davidson specifically pretty much defined his character. He was heavily involved in the magazine industry as both a writer and an editor, and we pretty quickly became good friends. I remember this bike always being in Kai's garage. Being that he worked for Easy Riders and had a lot of ties with Harley Davidson, he always had these brand new Harleys to ride, and his sweetheart was always in the corner of the shop. I don't know why it got disassembled. This is the result. The proverbial basket case. Valerie asked me if I could restore it, if I could bring it back to life. They have a charity organization now, and this will kind of be something like a tribute to Kai, his life, and Kai's memory. That's one thing I know about Kai, was he was that maintenance dude for sure. You know, he loved his motorcycles. So it doesn't surprise me that this thing is preserved so well. It's a pretty chunky fork. I like it. When Valerie asked me to get involved with the project, I didn't know what state the bike was in. I know that they relocated, they moved twice. The bike went into storage apparently, and that's about all I knew about it. That's the sign of a good chrome job, is when it can sit out in a shed for 15 years and polish right back up. I'm really digging this back tire, you know. This has got a little bit of oval slots in it. Pretty groovy. All right, let's put some rear suspension on. And last but not least, the old front tire. Now we're getting somewhere. It's starting to look like a chopper, baby.
Pretty formidable looking machine. I think I'm kind of like that. Knees in the breeze, bugs in your teeth. That bike was pretty crusty. I used 2 cans of oven cleaner on the engine, the foamy stuff, and man, it shined right up. I gotta get this running ASAP. You know, I don't wanna get teary-eyed or sentimental in an exaggerated kind of way, but right? It's like the man and his dog, the man and his bike. It's that kind of relationship, and like this was his jam, you know? He rode this thing everywhere.
I do so much full custom stuff. You know, it may seem that almost nothing is sacred to me, right? But, you know, something with this type of history, Kai being such a close friend, you don't change that stuff, you know? There's plenty other stuff in the world. This one is his, and it should stay that way.
Valerie told me that the biker's name was Purple Haze. Mr. Conservative biker guy driving a purple flamed Harley. All right, we see you. This looks like it's been rubbed on something white and it's on top of the clear coat. The question is, can I salvage this paint? Everything's just showing its age. We're all showing our age. It's part of the journey. It's got that pearly effect. I think it's gonna shine up real nice. I got this stuff from 3M. I'm gonna go at it with 1,000 grit and then bring it all the way to 3,000 and then polish it. Try not to get into the actual paint, just stay up on top on the clear coat. Try to knock some of these scratches off. Yeah, it looks like I'm not gonna have to re-clear any of this stuff. Yeah, I gotta say that this is a little bittersweet because I was like, oh man, the gates are wide open, right? There's no fenders, there's no tank. Time for me to restyle it. And then that looming voice, don't put no junk on my bike. Thinking maybe some divine intervention or something. Miraculously place these pieces of the bike right in front of me. All right, one more fender. You know, in my defense, I never put any junk on his bike. I just enhanced it a bit. And I also saved it from burning down to the ground.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Holy shit. I guess you don't have a fire extinguisher, huh?
I got 3 fire extinguishers right on the wall, and I'm like, I don't want to mess up his bike. I know what these things do, so I'm just hoping it'll go out. That sucker is flaming. It's 7 feet tall. I gotta use the extinguisher.
I'm just glad you remembered you had a fire extinguisher. I was looking around all over the place.
No, I knew where they were, but I'm just like, I don't want to make a mess. It's only Kai's motorcycle. I don't want to dirty the floor.
Thanks a lot.
You could say, this is number 2 that I'm saving.
You know, I'm not known for Mr. Polish and Shine, but right now, that's where my head's at. I think it's pretty cool that the bike didn't need a new paint job. 22 years ago, there it was, brand new. 22 years for a motorcycle that's driven, that's a pretty good run. So pretty neat to see it looking identical, just aged.
Yeah, now it's starting to fill out. These tanks look great. I was wondering why the headlight looked like it's bug eyes, right? Look how the top of the headlight's sticking out of the can. That's how much they raked it. So that you could see straight. See, that headlight should be vertical. I want to get this thing running. I'm gonna wash these tanks out, charge the battery. Next stop, showtime.
Bike's kind of a unicorn with the wide glide forks and the real skinny tire. It's a different look, but it's definitely raked. It's a chopper, lots of power. It moves right along. They're like giant mini bikes.
I gotta say, it looks like he just got off the bike yesterday, you know? Just leaving it as is, a fresh cut and polish on that old paint, brought the life back to it. Just a testament to how well he cared for this thing.
The mystery still stands. I mean, we don't know what happened, why this bike was disassembled, but I feel really privileged to be a part of it, and instead of it just being a pile of stuff in the corner, it's on display. That's all I can say, Kai. I did it. There's no junk on that bike. It's just the way you like it. It's a proper motorcycle. It's a chopper, baby. I'm gonna put some miles down in this desert before I take it back home, though. I'll tell you what, it's got a full tank of gas. I'm ready to move it. Did all the welding and grinding. Came back to my friend Tom's shop, and he's got some progress on this thing. It's looking like a truck now. It looks good with the bed. I mean, the proportion of the roof height now and this.
It made everything look better. I primered it too because I wanted just to get an idea of what it looks like as a complete truck, because I want to get it going and I want to drive it.
Right, keep the inspiration
I want to
going.
drive it, yeah.
Tom said he's been with this project for years and years. He's in no rush to finish it, but I think chopping this top lit a little fire under him.
Not even any body work done yet, and look at that. It just looks nice.
Yeah, it's crazy how 2 inches really does make a difference.
Yeah, it's a little too long.
Tom immediately walking in the door, he's like, look at the bed. Even though it's shortened 20 inches, I still got to shorten it more.
I think the bed should be cut off right at the end of the chassis right here, right at the springs.
Yeah, I agree with you. That way it's got that whole stubby look, you know, like an off-road truck. That's what you're doing. You're pulling all the overhanging sheet metal in. I like you finished off the grill and the headlight.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Thank
Super
you.
clean.
Appreciate that, yeah.
Looks good, man. I want to see it with those buggy tires. The thing that hooked me from the start was, yeah, it's going to be a beach buggy. You know, it's going to drive on the sand, and I'm just like, oh, heck yeah. Right now, it's got the big and littles, it's got the hot rod look. You know, I want to see it in full fun mode. Pretty cool that you're able to find those wide rims and 6 lug.
You want to hear something crazy? I bought these at a yard sale 40 years ago.
Huh. I'd call this a long-term success story. You know, Tom's looking at it like, yeah, finally, right? After 40 years, I mean, I was 11 when he started this truck.
In a 1961 Hot Rod magazine, this is what they had. They had tires ballooned over the rims. I think the reason why they're usually white walls, that was the bigger tires. That was for the bigger cars. Like the Cadillacs and the Packards.
Oh yeah, paddle tires
had
didn't
junk
exist.
stuff, yeah.
For sure.
They didn't have paddle tires back then. If they did, most people couldn't afford them, so.
Tom built this entirely in the vein of that first generation sand car, right? When they just had some old junk laying around, they would take some ratty old bias plies, make their own rims, and just do whatever they could to get some flotation on the sand. That says fun buggy. And I mean that in the best sense of the word. Like, it's a fun buggy. Like, you're meant to get in there and go have a ball on these sand dunes.
It's exactly what I wanted.
That's all it needed was 2 inches off the top and another 1.5 feet off the rear. This thing belongs on a Beach Boys album cover, man. Need some surfboards on there, and you're cruising down the ocean. This is sweet.
Kind of like the black rims, too.
Yeah, I think the biggest takeaway for me is, like, you can't buy good vibes, right? So the horse trading, the working with friends, that type of thing, that's really the way I operate.
Thank you, Ian.
Yeah,
I
right on.
appreciate you doing that. I really do.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what other good treasure you dig up, man. Now this truck, it's contagious. It's got me thinking, you know. I got the Model A body. I got some sand tires. I got an old chassis. Who knows what could happen? Maybe Tom wants to race.